Imagine a club that, after months of uncertainty and speculation about its ability to register players, suddenly finds itself with almost its entire squad eligible, without needing to resort to the desperate solutions many expected. Imagine also a young African talent of just 21 years old, compared to a world football legend, being watched by scouts from one of Europe's biggest clubs, while his price skyrockets in the market. And picture an established striker, discovering that no matter how much he performs and demonstrates quality, football hierarchy can be ruthless when puzzle pieces need to fit together differently. This is the current reality of FC Barcelona, where three seemingly distinct narratives intertwine to reveal a club in full transformation, navigating between administrative achievements, future ambitions, and the complex dynamics of an elite squad. The first of these stories begins with a statement that many considered too optimistic to be true. Weeks ago, Joan Laporta was categorical in affirming that the formula for registering players would not depend on Marc-Andre Ter Stegen's injury, contradicting the widespread opinion that this would be the fastest and most efficient way to activate new squad spots. Barcelona's president insisted that the club was working on other pathways to clear new signings, a position that many interpreted as yet another empty promise from a leader pressured by circumstances. But current reality proves that Laporta wasn't selling illusions. With the transfer window in full swing, Barcelona managed to register the vast majority of its players without needing to resort to their starting goalkeeper's medical leave, demonstrating a management capacity that few believed possible. Ter Stegen remains a fundamental piece in Flick's plans, and the board avoided having his personal situation transformed into a desperate administrative resource. Of the recent signings, only one name remains to be registered: Rooney Bargi, the young Swedish talent who still awaits his turn to be enabled in La Liga, but whose situation represents no drama or urgency for the institution. This administrative achievement gains even more relevance when we observe the immediate impact on the field. Joan Garcia, the young goalkeeper who debuted against Mallorca, made his presentation with high marks, generating confidence among fans and confirming that betting on homegrown talent continues to be a guarantee for the future. His presence combines perfectly with Ter Stegen's experience, offering a balance between youth and experience that is vital for a club going through financial difficulties. Meanwhile, Marcus Rashford has already had his first minutes as a Blaugrana. And although his debut was brief, it offered glimpses of the quality that fans expect to see throughout the season. The confirmation of Laporta's words demonstrates that the president had a structured plan, not just empty hopes. The club's strategy could never depend on external factors or unforeseen situations, and player registration needed to be managed with economic solvency and internal resources. Barcelona still needs to finalize Bargi's situation, but tranquility reigns in the boardroom, which already has the necessary personnel to face a demanding calendar while keeping the door open for possible market surprises, always prioritizing administrative stability.
While the club resolves its bureaucratic issues with surprising efficiency, Blaugrana scouts work tirelessly in identifying future stars, and one name in particular has caught special attention from Barcelona's leadership: Karl Etta Eyong, the young 21-year-old Cameroonian striker who currently plays for Villarreal, has become an object of desire for the Catalan club, which constantly seeks young promises before their prices become prohibitive in the international market. What makes Eyong especially attractive is not just his age or potential, but rather the comparisons that experts make between his playing style and that of Samuel Eto'o, one of the greatest legends in Barcelona's recent history. Etta Eyong's trajectory in Spanish football has been meteoric and impressive. Last season, playing for Villarreal's reserve team, the Cameroonian played 30 matches and scored an impressive 19 goals, numbers that immediately caught the attention of first-team officials. His opportunity came quickly: 4 games with the main squad and 1 goal scored, demonstrating he was ready to assume responsibilities at the elite level. His debut in the current season against Real Oviedo was even more promising, converting the opening goal in a 2-0 victory that confirmed his potential to shine in the top category. Before arriving at the Yellow Submarine, Etta Eyong had already demonstrated his quality at Cadiz reserve team, where he scored 14 goals in 33 matches, including an appearance with the first team. From a young age, his natural inclination for the penalty area and his goal-scoring instinct have not gone unnoticed by specialized observers. What most impresses about his game is the combination of physical power, finishing ability in tight spaces, and versatility with both feet, characteristics that make him a complete and modern striker. Villarreal, aware of the treasure they possess, paid approximately €1 million for his services and tied him until 2027, but has already received tempting offers. Racing Strasbourg recently presented a €5 million proposal, promptly rejected by the Yellow Club, which intends to keep the player and guarantee him regular first-team minutes. For Barcelona, this means any signing attempt will need to significantly exceed that figure, transforming a possible bargain into a considerable investment. Joan Laporta has already expressed personal interest in the young Cameroonian, recognizing in him the ideal profile for Barcelona DNA: young, talented, ambitious, and with potential to make a difference on big stages. The comparison with Eto'o is neither coincidental nor an exaggeration. Both share the same nationality, position, and technical characteristics that make them lethal in the opponent's penalty area. If Etta Eyong can maintain his current level and continue progressing, it wouldn't be surprising to see him wearing the Blaugrana shirt in the near future, especially considering the club's policy of betting on young players who can develop and appreciate and value.
While the board plans future investments, the present demands difficult decisions about the current squad, and one of these decisions directly affects Ferran Torres, who discovered abruptly how the dynamics of an elite team can be ruthless. The Spanish striker, who had found his best moment last season thanks to the confidence placed in him by Hansi Flick, found himself once again relegated to the bench for the clash against Levante, a situation that perfectly exemplifies the complexities of managing a squad full of talent. Ferran Torres had demonstrated last season that he didn't need many minutes to leave his mark. Each opportunity received transformed into goals, assists, or at minimum, valuable contributions to the collective, an effectiveness that converted him into one of the most pleasant surprises of the previous campaign and earned him respect from fans and specialists. His ability to take advantage of limited opportunities and generate decisive situations that changed the course of games seemed to have guaranteed his position in the team, especially considering his constant growth and adaptation to Flick's system. However, the reality of elite football is merciless, and even when performing at a high level, hierarchy can weigh more than individual statistics. Deco, the sporting director, made it clear that his bet goes toward a different profile, prioritizing international experience and solid physical presence in the attack line. For the former Portuguese player, guaranteeing offensive solidity is essential, and this philosophy explains many of the recent decisions in forming the starting lineup, decisions that don't always contemplate who has the best momentary performance. The situation becomes even more complex with Robert Lewandowski's return, who, after overcoming his physical ailments, automatically reassumes his position in the starting 11. The Pole, with his proven experience and goal-scoring ability, represents the ideal profile in Deco's view, an established striker with international weight and the ability to decide important games. His return directly displaces Ferran Torres, who must return to waiting for opportunities from the bench, a reality that demonstrates how even the best talents need to accept established hierarchies.
The clash against Levante arrives at a crucial moment to define Barcelona's sensations at the beginning of this season. Winning doesn't just mean adding points, but also reinforcing internal dynamics and keeping collective morale high, fundamental aspects for a club seeking to reconquer its position as a protagonist in world football. For Ferran, it represents another opportunity to demonstrate he can be decisive even starting from the bench,
a role that requires maturity and professionalism. Deco knows that a solid project requires balance between trusting established stars and offering opportunities to those awaiting their moment. This delicate management will mark much of the season. If he can harmonize both aspects, Barcelona will have more variance to face the decisive challenges that approach. Ferran's situation serves as an example that in modern football, even when performing at an excellent level, factors like experience, team momentum, and strategic decisions can determine who plays and who waits. The unfolding season promises to be long and full of opportunities for all squad players. The key to collective success will be transforming internal competition into a growth engine, where each player understands his role and contributes to common objectives, regardless of being a starter or substitute. Ferran Torres, like other teammates, will have multiple chances to prove his worth, and his response to this moment of adversity can define not only his future at the club, but also his evolution as a professional. These three narratives that permeate current Barcelona, the surprising administrative efficiency, the search for young talents like Etta Eyong, and the complex management of an elite squad exemplified by Ferran Torres' case, reveal a club in full transformation. Far from times of improvisation and desperate decisions, Barcelona demonstrates institutional maturity, strategic planning, and capacity to adapt to modern football realities. The future seems promising for an institution that learned to navigate between present achievements and tomorrow's ambitions, always maintaining its values and identity intact amid the storms that inevitably arise on the path of any great club.